reason why you're doing this and not me.
Thank you, Mitesh. Good afternoon. We're starting to see evidence that environmental, social, and governance risks are having an impact, both in the immediate as well as the short term. Momentum and buzz around this topic was really high at the end of 2015, following, amongst other events, Mark Carney's speech on stranded assets, the COP21 Paris talks, and the devastating floods in the UK. However, moving from awareness of these risks to action is clearly very challenging. Responsible investment is an incredibly broad topic, and it covers every single asset class. So it's a challenge for us to help trustees make decisions, and we need to do that strategically, simply, and through a risk-focused framework. At Reddington, we're taking a first principles approach to ESG, and my focus currently is working with our CIO, Philip Rose, and Nick Lewis from our investment consulting team to create a clear and consistent framework that integrates ESG both at our investment committee level and through the whole firm. Those of you who know us well will know that we are very risk-focused, and as you'd probably expect, we're interrogating ESG and responsible investment through a risk lens. So I'd like to share with you a few of our firm-wide investment principles, which will explain a bit more about the philosophy in terms of responsible investment. So first of all, just diversifying your risks isn't enough. You need to also consider environmental, social, and governance risks as part of holistic risk management. Many climate change risks are very long-term, but we like to look long-term across the client's whole journey and try to anticipate any potential speed bumps along the way. These risks are out there, whether we choose to measure them or not. Therefore, we think it's beholden upon us to at least take a good look. Many climate change risks are quantitatively uncertain, and the frameworks by which we try to measure environmental, social, and governance factors are still works in progress. However, we can evaluate them. Finally, we accept that we're still learning, as is the rest of the industry, and that's not a reason for us to do nothing. So, what have we found out in our research so far? In our conversations with asset managers, we see a really broad spectrum of approaches, ranging from those who notice that their clients might be interested in ESG, and I think it's good PR or marketing, next to those who've started to tick the basic boxes, on to those who've integrated ESG risks into their investment process and into their firm culture, and finally, those for whom responsible or ethical investing is their raison d'etre, and it might outweigh financial performance considerations. When we're talking to managers, we're not really judging where they should sit on this spectrum. What we want to do is interrogate how they've made the decisions. In our wider asset class research, we've come up with a few key findings, two of which I want to share with you now. As we look across the whole investable universe, ESG risks are well understood in active equity strategies and also to a growing extent in traditional fixed income. However, there are a lot of gaps, for example, in smart beta and multi-asset. We also see there's a real proliferation of studies and a lack of consistency in the terminology used, and a lack of a consistent framework for those people who aren't already industry leaders. So to conclude, what are we going to be looking at this year? We're going to be looking at ESG across the board. We think you should understand how ESG risks look at your total portfolio level and across every single asset class you invest in. This is a real jargon-filled and emotional topic. It's full of baggage and buzzwords. So we're working to create advice which is clear, logical, and consistent, and we're looking for practical implementation too. Finally, we're looking at DC products which integrate ESG risks, and we're going to be asking whether responsible investing is a way to engage millennials with their savings. So that's all from me, but I look forward to talking to you later. Thanks very much.